Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And there's only one piece of news in YouTube fitness right now, and that's Furious Pete. And, let me go ahead and put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. I watched his video on it, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen anything of Pete's in a couple years. Never really followed him. I've never had really a positive or a negative view of him. But all I can say that as a man, seeing this news and him announcing that he's going to lose his other testicle, I can't think of anything funny to say. I can't make a joke. That's the sort of thing that you want to be able to make. Let's just find some way to troll or be funny about this. I can't. There is absolutely not a single thing funny or amusing about that. Dude's losing his second testicle to cancer. All right, he already lost one. He's losing his other one. And particularly the fact that you got a guy, I guess he's married and he wants kids, and he's losing both testicles. That's, damn, that sucks. That sucks. Like, I don't care what your view of the person is. Hell, even if you don't like him, if you say, I don't like his videos, that sucks. I mean, seriously. I mean, how can you have anything but just sympathy for the guy, some compassion? And it's like, that's so messed up in certain ways. And I guess the way that he explained it is, he went through, he had the cancer in his left testicle. They had to remove it. There's ways we can joke about that sort of stuff. Like I had a guy I worked with years ago who lost his testicle in an accident. It got ruptured, and there were jokes about it and everything. And he went on and fathered kids and stuff with only one testicle, and everything was good. It was funny. We could make jokes about it, right? Because he still had his other one. Yeah, you got one ball. We could joke about it. But now Pete's losing his second one. Still wants kids. I mean, that's rough, man. That's rough shit. And I mean, and anyone out there as a man, you got to have some sympathy for that. You have to. I don't care who that person. It could be somebody you don't like. You got to have some sympathy. I know I do. And I guess the messed up part is that, he lost the first one. And he was going back for scans, and he had said they weren't really checking that aggressively for the other one, because it turns out that statistically speaking, it's an anomaly. In other words, usually if someone has testicular cancer and they get that testicle removed, and then if they develop cancer again, what he said in the video is the doctors had said there's only a 2% chance. A 2% chance. That means 1 in 50 that you're going to develop it in the other one. If you get cancer somewhere else in your body, right? It's usually going to be in a different spot in your body. 2% chance. And he got it. I mean, talk about bad luck. And the thing is, Pete got pretty emotional in the video. And I'm going to be honest, man, the dude's got a right to be emotional. That's a point where I think a man's has earned a right to cry on a camera. All right? He's earned that right. People can say what they want about, people crying about something on camera, but losing your second testicle after you lost the first one and you just found out, I promise you, every one of you guys would be crying. You would be crying. And you would. So don't even pretend that you wouldn't. I know I would be. I'd be crying. I'd be crying like a little baby. So, again, I think at this point there's nothing unmanly about him crying at that point. I genuinely feel bad for the dude. I legitimately feel bad for him. Damn. 2 of them, second testicle. And I guess this is what we need to be talking about, guys. We need to be talking about men's health issues, don't we? We need to be talking about this stuff. You know what? I hate to have to say, you guys need to check your testicles, man. You need to check this stuff. You need to be checking this stuff regularly, because this is a serious thing. We got to watch these things. We got to pay attention to our testicle health. We got to pay attention to our prostates, guys. As you get older, I mean, that's not something we want to have to talk about, but we do. We got to pay attention to that stuff. Our health matters, and our men's health matters. And that was the other thing that's, we could talk about is, issue in lifters, right? Now, we can talk about the most obvious one. We could talk about theories about the drug abuse, the anabolic, things like that, particularly starting at a younger age. The younger people start using them, the higher their risk of that. And that's what you guys need to understand. That's something I tell you out there, isn't it? When it comes to gear use, if you decide you're going to do that later in life, I tell everyone out there, absolutely under no circumstances, even if it's right for you, for your life in the long term, under no circumstances should anyone under the age of 21 even consider using an anabolic, even if they can get it legally. Even if you know that you need it for your sport, you're under the age of 21. My policy has always been absolutely not and under no circumstances. So younger guys who've known me over the years, they come to me, they're 19 or 20, and they ask me about gear. I tell them, my opinion, you shouldn't even be considering it before age 21 because you're not fully developed. And we know the data on that shows that people who start using this stuff at younger ages develop testicular cancer at a higher rate. There is a correlation. But, you know, there's also that with supplements, isn't there? Yeah, there have been a lot of heavy supplement use has been linked. And now there's a lot of debate in the research because of the correlation in all the different supplements. But there is data showing that things like some of the older stuff like androstenedione, has been linked to testicular cancer. Creatine has been linked to at slightly higher rates, and it's arguable as to whether there's causation or not, but generally speaking, people who use supplements starting with heavy supplement use, and I'm talking your legal over-the-counter stuff before age 25, have higher testicular cancer rates in the general population. And that's kind of the point I make. You know, we can talk about all these different supplements out there all we want. We think they may or may not help you. Well, most of them aren't going to help your gains. They're mostly a con. Some of them do get linked to a lot of these problems. You need to understand that there's not real safety testing usually on supplements. There isn't. They have loopholes in the laws. They're not required to be particularly safe. They're not required to prove that they work. In fact, if they're proven they work, they usually get pulled off the market. You're not allowed to sell products that aren't genuine food sources. They get away with creatine because it's actually food. Like you could extract creatine right out of a steak in a lab, right? It's in there. So because it's food, they pull that off. But generally speaking, if a supplement actually is proven to build muscle, it becomes illegal to sell it to you. You're not allowed to sell anabolic substances over the counter that aren't food. So the supplement industry, for the most part, doesn't make stuff that work because they know they can't legally sell stuff that's proven to work. You know, so we get into these debates with this stuff of does this contribute? Possibly. You know, we could argue about Pete's eating contest. Is his eating contest in the competitive eating, is that possibly linked to it? Maybe. Possibly. It's possible. So, you know, this is the things that we need to think about with our more extreme lifestyles, even in the fitness world. You know what, guys? You got to think about that. You start using anabolics at a younger age, you're taking that risk. Taking that risk. Too many supplements. You know, the same thing. There is a link. Now, is it causation? Not necessarily, but there is a pretty heavy correlation that's been found between testicular cancer and using large amounts of supplements starting at a young age. You know, again, under about 25. Possibly competitive eating. I mean, the thing is, we need to think about these things. We've got to think about our health and what we put into our body. And you guys can argue about this all you want and say, well, I'm young, I don't care, I suffer the consequences. Well, that's well and good until you're 30 years old and you end up with testicular cancer and have to lose both your balls. Is it going to be worth it? You know, this is stuff we have to think about. You know, we could use Pete as an example of that. We don't know what specifically caused it. Like I said, there's going to be theories on it. There's going to be speculation as to all these things, but we don't really know. But it's a good time to have that conversation, isn't it? That's a real good time to have that conversation. So it kind of comes back to you guys who are 19, 20 years old. I'm going to tell you right now. Look at Pete's example. You have no business using gear. You probably have no business using supplements. They don't work anyways. Why bother? Don't take them. They're linked to this stuff. Why take the risk? Why spend your money and take the risk for something that's not really even going to help you anyways, right? Eat right, train hard, get on a good training program. You know, and take care of your testicles, guys. Take care of them. You only get 2 of them. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.